there's always something swirling around in my head. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about my approaching 40th year around the sun, a milestone that means a lot of things, probably too many to unpack in one video. But unlike my crazy 30th, I wanted to welcome this next decade differently. Relaxing in nature, surrounded by wildlife, mainly birds, with a camera in hand. And that's how my recent Far North Queensland adventure came to be. It's the only place in the world where two UNESCO World Heritage Sites meet: the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree Rainforest. I explored, though barely scratched the surface, of the world's oldest rainforest. My journey stretched from the lush Wet Tropics to the inland mountain ranges of Tropical North Queensland. A biodiversity hotspot, this region is full of life. And naturally, it's a bird photographer's dream. It was unforgettable. I came home with some great photos, and plenty that weren't so great. And while there were lots of reasons for the not so great ones, for me, the great ones shared a common theme: treasured encounters, intense emotions, and the kind of memories that linger. So today, I want to share my 5 tips for taking cherished photos. Images that make you pause, relive that moment, and hopefully keep speaking to you for years to come. Expectations are natural, but they're also dangerous. It's good to hope for certain encounters, but the moment you cling too tightly to what you expect, you start missing what's actually in front of you. Before my trip, I had a wish list. Victoria's rifle birds displaying, kingfishers diving for fish and other invertebrates, and at the top of my list, ospreys carrying freshly caught fish in their talons, and I'd capture them like the legendary Mark Smith. Spoiler, I saw none of that. But a girl can dream. The closest I got was seeing a beautiful azure kingfisher perched along the Daintree River, on the lookout for breakfast. Very awesome, yes, but not quite what I was expecting. I soon realised my wish list wasn't helping, it was distracting me. Because when you let go of expectations, every encounter becomes a bonus. That surprise hit of dopamine when something amazing just happens and you're in the right place at the right time. That's what turns a good photo into a cherished one. And that's exactly what happened when we found ourselves walking along a somewhat hidden and rugged trail soon after checking into our accommodation in the Daintree. Cassowaries were known to frequent the area, but I didn't expect to actually see one, at least not anytime soon. Having joked about some fresh cassowary poop that we'd just seen on the trail, I abruptly stopped in my tracks when I saw a flash of blue and red between some trees about 10 metres ahead. My heart jumped in my throat when I realised I was seeing a cassowary sitting on the forest floor. Then a fluffy little brown head popped into view. Then another. Unbelievable. It was a father cassowary with 2 chicks. They soon got up and one of the chicks couldn't resist the temptation of a fallen fruit nearby. Amazing! I slammed my finger on that shutter release button and it stayed there for a long time. The whole experience only lasted about 10 minutes or so before the father started to move my way. Enough warning for me to quietly retreat to a safer distance. But it was 10 minutes I'll never forget. Moments like these remind you, the best shots often occur when you stop expecting and just let things happen for you. Having no expectations doesn't mean leaving everything to chance. Research can help a lot, but it will only take you so far. Bird sightings online are often outdated or vague. That's where local knowledge becomes invaluable. And by locals, I don't mean the bartender at the local pub. I mean resident birders, guides or photographers who spend every day in that environment. They know the area, bird activities and what's been happening lately. I was lucky to meet a lovely local lady, Bron, a keen birder and photographer who, like me, was out for a morning shoot in an area where I was aware that golden bowerbirds had recently been sighted. But I had no idea where to look exactly, and she was so kind to share her knowledge and her time. Without Bron's insight, I doubt I would have seen the golden bowerbirds. Their breeding sites are not made public, and for very good reason, to protect them. Carefully adorned with lichen, moss and pretty little flowers, the bower is elaborate. Eventually we heard his distinct call. Often he would perch near his bower. Curious and definitely not camera shy. I was really hoping to see him attend to his bower, but that didn't happen. Instead, I was surprised to see a snippet of his courtship dance when he gave me an impromptu performance. Another surprise and so much better than what I'd expected. These encounters can happen because of local kindness and a shared passion. So talk to people, ask questions, listen more than you speak. Your next cherished photo might start with a conversation. Following on from tip 2, don't just follow the crowds. If you go where every tourist and his dog goes, you'll likely find fewer birds, more noise, and a lot more people photobombing your shots. Now, I'm definitely not suggesting you step off boardwalks or make your own trail into restricted habitat. Ethics always comes first. Instead, seek the quieter trails, the lesser known spots, the small local tours that operate with care. You might have a more enjoyable time and better photos seeing wildlife off the main road, on a side trail, along quieter routes. A small group Daintree River cruise with a knowledgeable and passionate local guide gave me some fantastic close-up encounters that I otherwise wouldn't have had. A Papuan frogmouth nesting, a striated heron on the move for breakfast, a green oriole coming in for a closer look, a shining flycatcher trying to keep herself and her eggs cool from the hot sun, even a crocodile drifting silently nearby. Getting off the beaten track doesn't have to mean somewhere totally remote. It means being curious, exploring places with fewer footprints and being willing to look where others haven't. If you're photographing in forests, even when the sun's out, you're going to deal with pockets of very low light. There's no escaping it. I brought 2 lenses with me, my RF 100 to 500mm, which has a small aperture of f10 with my 1.4x extender permanently attached, and my RF 600mm, which was wide open at f5.6 again with my extender attached. Now, despite the convenience of the zoom lens, I used it maybe 10% of the time. The heavier 600mm made it possible for my images to hold together in the really low light conditions. Often, I had to choose between a noisy but sharp photo or a clean and blurry one. I think you can guess my choice there. This was my approach for a lot of my encounters, including these beautiful buff-breasted paradise kingfishers, a species that migrates from Papua New Guinea to Far North Queensland each year. A group of them had just arrived at the famous Kingfisher Park Birdwatchers Lodge on my first night there. The next morning, after following their calls, it was an incredible experience to find them flying all around me. They could barely sit still. There were mates to find, foes to ward off, food to look for. The atmosphere was electric, and of course, I wanted to capture it all. But with dense foliage, taking sharp and clean images of any activity was always going to be tough. I was eventually lucky enough to have this super patient kingfisher find a low perch and decide to hang out in front of me for a good little while. I got a mixture of fairly still and some action shots. As shot, these are really noisy, but how did they all turn out? Well, two cleaned up really nicely after applying some denoising in Lightroom and using Topaz denoise. And this one, shot at ISO 40,000, has scrubbed up surprisingly really well. This one, however, is quite mushy. So I guess 3 out of 4 here, not bad at all. So don't miss the moment because you want a clean photo. I've frozen some moments in time that will always remind me of some amazing time spent with these kingfishers and that sense of wonder. This, for me, is the heart of it all. When we see an animal for the first time, it's natural to feel the excitement and exuberance. You just want to capture it, and any photo will do. And that's okay. Get your ID shot. But then pause, breathe, think. Ask yourself, what's actually happening here? How do I want to remember this moment? What story do I want this photo to tell? To the extent possible, take photos about something, not just of something. This often means having a bit of patience, waiting for a gesture, a look, or a small behaviour that says something about your subject and the moment. This also means leaning on your technical skills and knowledge, and may involve framing or composing your subject in a certain way. Aim for variety and try to capture a feeling, not just a form. Great example here, after my bag of ID shots, I was keen to capture this male Australian bustard, yes, busted and not bastard, displaying to some females. After watching this male walking about for almost an hour, I was about ready to pack it in, but thought I could wait a little longer, just for the chance to see him displaying. And before I knew it, 3 females had flown in to check him out. And boy, did this guy work hard to impress them. Strutting about with his head held high, followed by endless low rumbling calls and proud wobbles of his big neck sack and large swaying skirt. Despite his desperate and best efforts to woo the females, they just weren't that impressed and politely walked off together to enjoy their girls' day out. And then it was over. And so was my time in Far North Queensland for now. time well spent, treasured memories, frozen moments in time. Photography isn't just about getting the shot, it's about feeling something while you do it. When you let go of expectations, connect with the people and places around you, embrace imperfections, and stay curious, your photos will do more than document a moment. They'll help you remember all the special things about that moment. Because in the end, cherished photos aren't just beautiful, they're meaningful. They hold a story that you want to tell again and again. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.